The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, but early in the morning he arrived again in the temple area, and all the people started coming to him. Then he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery and made her stand in the middle. They said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in a very act of committing adultery. Now, in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such woman. So, what do you say?" They said this to test him, so they could have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and began to write on the ground with his finger. But when they continued asking him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again, he bent down and wrote on the ground. And in response, they went away one by one, beginning with the elders. So he was left alone with the woman before him. Then Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She replied, "No one, sir." Then Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore." The Gospel of the Lord. In this powerful gospel today, we see the mercy of God. On those days, the Jews had the law. If you kill someone, if you are an adulteress or idolater, you'll be stoned to death. They have the right to do what they had to do. But however, they want to put God into the test. They want to really entrap Jesus. They want to see what he's going to say on this one. Because the law said she should be stoned to death. So what Jesus is going to think about that? So what happened? If Jesus had said, "Well, we'll forgive you, let her go," then they're going to say, "Well, he against Moses' law." On those days, everybody had to abide by Moses' law. And if he say anything else, it will go against him. Even if he say, "Stone her," abide by the law, he will lose his own reputation as a good man, as a loving and caring, forgiving. So he was entrapped in between forgiving her and between stone her. But what did he do? He scooped down and wrote. And as a Holy Father said on beautiful commentary on his homily on this gospel, he said, Jesus bent down to think, to slow down, and to ask God what he had to do. Apparently, they forced him again. They want to know what to do with the woman. So he stood up and told them, "The one without sin cast the first stone." Amazing. And everybody, I believe, they had a conscience then. They could not do it. They just dropped the stone and walked away. However, they had that anger inside of him. As much physically, they put the stone down and walked away, they still wanted to get rid of him. Amazing today, this gospel tells us so much of human condition. Tells us so much about asking God mercy. Misery and mercy today, we encounter that. And and Pope Francis said it so beautiful in his homily also. He said, "We are all adulterers. We're all sinners. We all want mercy. God is merciful. We encounter misery and mercy at the confessional. When we go to confess on a confessional, we come asking, Lord, please forgive me. And the Lord will forgive you. If you believe on the sacrament of reconciliation, it does forgive you. But also, don't do no more. Especially in mortal sin. Our human condition is to fall all the time. Unless you isolate yourself, you have the gift, that grace to be a saint. Even saints sometimes they fall too. And they all ask for pardon. So today, in this gospel tells us, especially in this Lenten season, next Sunday is already Palm Sunday. And we're going to go through to the Holy Week. So are we prepared to ask God mercy? But when we ask mercy, we have to mean it. Because sometimes people ask for mercy just for, well, I don't feel good, I want to feel better. It's okay. To feel spiritually healed, you have to believe on the sacrament of reconciliation. How many of you believe on the sacrament? It's not the priest to forgive you. He is representing God to forgive you. He has the authority. It's on the gospel. Matthew tells us. So again, we need to believe on the mercy of God on a confessional. We need to believe in the mercy that God is always merciful, loving, and caring. He don't want our death. He didn't want this soul to be stoned to death. He knew by law she deserved to die. But not on the eyes of God. On the eyes of God, nobody deserved to die. Nobody. Because God is good. God is loving. God is forgiving. No matter what we do, He forgives us. And that today the gospel tells us that. Knowing that she deserved to die, He didn't allow him to kill her. And He forgave her. But what did He say to her in the end? When Jesus and the adulterer was alone, He said to her, where are they? Did anybody condemn you? He said, neither I. Go and do no more. That's what we need to live our life. We fall, yes. We commit sin, yes. We might even commit mortal sin. We need to be confessed. But don't do no more. Can we live this life to do no more? It's to work on ourselves, to work on our spiritual journey, to work whatever we need to be at peace. What peace mean? Peace. You be at peace, right? Peace is a status a person can have without worry, without heavy burden. A peace that comes from within. Only can God give us that peace. Humans are not able to give peace to no one. If they give you peace, it will be just for a few days. Thank you, Annette. I need it. Again, to continue this journey of mercy, it is an attitude of what? To feel at peace. That peace again, it is internal peace. No man, no woman, no money, no status will give you the peace that you need to live with that peace. When you lay down in bed at night, wow, your conscience is clean, isn't it? Do we do an act of contrition before we go to bed? What did I do this day? Did I offend anybody? That it is something wrong to my wife, to my husband, to my children, to my neighbor, to my parishioners, to the priest, to the deacon, whatever. You need to go inside of you. Then, go feel that peace, that joy, that serenity, isn't it? Amazing. A few years ago, my neighbor did something bad to me. Okay? It's a long story. It really hurt me. And I carried that inside of me. I didn't want to be vindictive about it, but I could not let go. That bothers me. Until one day, I went and talked to him. And I asked him, peace be with you, in different terms. He looked at me, for what? I said, don't even go there. Just shake my hand. I was at peace that night. I felt the peace inside of me. That peace, my dear brothers, has to come from you. To come forward to your brothers and sisters and reconcile your faults. And then go to confession. It's so easy to go to confession, to believe in the sacrament of reconciliation, and then go out, do the same thing to your brothers and sisters. The confession is to telling you, don't do no more. And we go repeat again. We go to God every week. We go, I need to confess every week. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody can stop you not to confess. But are you able to not to do no more, as Jesus tells us today on this powerful gospel? To repeat over and over. He expects us to fall. Jesus expects us to fall. We still carry, okay, Adam and Eve's sin. That concupiscence that we have inside of us. To go to the right, to go to the left, or to be in the middle. To be just in the middle. Choose the good versus the bad. Make good decisions. Have an attitude of gratitude. Be happy, be joyful, be forgiving as your Father has forgiven you. On many passages, how God can forgive you if you cannot forgive your brothers and sisters? Isn't it amazing? If I hold that grudge against my neighbor, how can I ask God to forgive me, to heal me from that anger I had inside of me? So we need to learn, my dear brothers and sisters, is to live a good Christian Catholic life. And the reason I say always Catholic is because we have the most powerful sacrament. We have the most powerful presence of Jesus himself on the Holy Eucharist. We Christian Catholics. And thank God we're Catholics. Because we have the presence of God in our midst. So what more we want to ask? To help us to live a clean life, a good life, a peaceful life. We have Jesus. We are going to receive it on Holy Eucharist. I always say this over and over. What you going to do with it? What are you going to do with Jesus when you receive on the Holy Eucharist? You still going to have the anger inside of you? You still going to be upset with someone? Are you still going to be angry at people? Or be at peace and joy and smile no matter what causes you not to smile? Jesus, it is the best antibiotic, I call it. He kills anything inside of you spiritually. And He can heal you also physically if you have faith enough. Faith, my dear brothers, in the Holy Eucharist is something very important. It leads you into be a merciful person. It leads you how to love. If you don't love, and St Paul said it many times on his epistles, you can do everything in life. Give all you have. Give your time and talent and treasure. Give everything and get away from everything. But if you don't have love, you done nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know why? Because love God and love neighbor. It is the most powerful that we can really feel inside of us, that love of God. You have to love yourself first, not selfishly. No, loving yourself. What means love yourself? It is appreciate God's gift every day. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my husband. Thank you for the weather. Thank you for my church. Thank you for my job. Stop complaining. The more you complain, get worse. The more you complain, doesn't get any better. So why you be happy? Be happy of what God is giving you. That will generate love inside of you for everything you receive around you. That's love. Love of creation. Beautiful sunrise, beautiful weather we have. We've been fortunate in Florida if you see the weather around the nations. All these tornado, flood, you name it. Cold weather, 15 degrees in Boston, so forth and so on. And we have a gorgeous weather. Are we thankful for the gorgeous weather we have in Florida? Or we complain too? That's not enough. When is enough to make you happy? Only God can do that. Only God can make us happy. Only God can give us that peace, that joy, that harmony, which we all seek that, isn't it? How many people take tranquilizers? How many people goes on drugs? Because they want to kind of forget their condition, not knowing only God can give that peace, that joy. It only take an attitude. It take a will. It take a wish. Lord, I'm not going to take this pill to make me feel better. I rely on you, pill. I rely on you that you give me what I need. I can worship you, adore you, and love you. Amen.